Can you guys hear me in general chat? Or any? Well, fantastic, Vexer. Yeah, so I guess I wanted to go over today something that is a little bit more broad and basically, like, I'm still, I guess you could say, building the studio in this house that I think is really needed to bring this project home. And I think that sometimes it's a bit difficult. Oh yeah, that's fine. I understand. I remember the last one, and I was I was living somewhere different, and I'm now in the path here, but it's okay. I imagine that's fine. I think that, like, a lot of people think that, adversity can kind of be avoided when you're doing things like extraordinary. And you know what? I can just post this in the chat because I screenshotted this earlier. And I think that a lot of people right now, when they're in a passive position, like we're in a complete passive position when it comes to being invested in this, what ends up happening, and I'm now referencing this image that I posted in the chat. I'll actually read it out because some people might be on YouTube and we don't have video there right now. Extraordinary results require extraordinary focus, extraordinary effort, extraordinary risk, extraordinary judgment, extraordinary adaptability, extraordinary patience, extraordinary sacrifice, or an extraordinary balance of them combined. Yeah, and Fexer, arguably, I think the fact of the matter is that what adversity really is actually a perspective shift. Because I think that when you're living a life that's kind of like at the baseline and you get the results you expect, you're also having tons of little problems, but you don't think of them as problems. But like, to pull off something larger, you're going to get hit with like problems that are proportional to the size of that reward. Does that make sense? Because when you begin, I guess you could say, swinging for targets that are outside of the realm of your normalcy, you have to kind of like deal with both the good and the bad of that life change. And I think that that's why a lot of people in Web3, there's a quote like, everybody wants to shine like a diamond, but nobody wants to get cut like one, right? I think when it comes to this phrase here, when you're just waiting on me, it ends up just being extraordinary patience. Like extraordinary patience and maybe extraordinary risk. These end up being like the highlighting elements of that formula there. Whereas for me, it does require focus. It does require effort. It does require adaptability. It requires everything on that list, to be honest. But when the way that this is being done, I'm doing it all, and it's sort of like, I feel like I'm doing it apologetically for Genesis. I guess you could say not meeting expectations. And the reason we're doing it as thoroughly as the blueprint of Learn Pyre is that I recognize that even the people that have been, invested and supportive of this project for years, they still don't have like a complete baseline of understanding. And that's what it takes. Now I'll tell you this. Based on the fact that the video worked, like the video that's urgent warning for Sonic Labs, the reason why that I'm so fucking bullish about that is because what we do know is that it got circulated internally at Sonic Labs. Meaning, I don't think I actually got into Matt Visser's inbox until after he already watched it. I don't think I was able to scrape his email. What that means is I sent it to other people at Sonic Labs and they forwarded it along. Does that make sense? Like it got passed to him internally. And what that means is I now have the ability through video to persuade strangers into spreading my ideas for me and to spreading my comms for me. Does that make sense, Fexer? Seeing how I'm talking to you and maybe I don't even know who else is here. Yes, exactly. And that right there, if you're familiar with the idea of a dendrite, or dendritic. Here you go. This is probably the best one. it's sometimes better to think more of like the tree that's branching. But this is like how the exponent goes. Does that make sense? It's literally going viral. Going viral. Meaning one what do you even call that? Meaning one carrier infects two others. You get what I'm saying? So the point being is that like done at scale, it only gets more and more chaotic. That message was done only for Sonic Labs. A lot of people in this chat, they couldn't get past 5 minutes because it wasn't really designed for them, you know? But the people who it was meant for, they watched it all the way through because it was designed for them. And like what that means for me, Fexer, like in my mind, is that I now have confirmation that I possess the skill set to probably produce several things that can make lots of money. Does that make sense? Like, they still require work, they still require focus, they still require everything on that little quote right there. But like the skill set is arguably functionally complete. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there might be some technology I'm still missing, and maybe other things. I have to, they're making me do a credit check to become my brother's legal guardian, and like other things, other weird things like this. Yeah, exactly. So I'm actually like I've been explaining this, that like I have to kind of like prioritize what I focus on now, which is now invisible, and I know that that's kind of that's always worrisome when you're invested in like this extremely bizarre configuration. Because right now, everybody who's still holding like one of the Pyre tokens, they're basically invested the way a venture capitalist is invested. Meaning that like everybody's in position to get something close to a 100x, right? Whether it's somewhere between 10x and 1000x, like logarithms, put it that way, right? And venture capitalists play that same way, but they'll be invested in 10 things and 9 of them will fail. Whereas here, I just have to keep reshaping myself until I'm the exact blueprint of what wins. Does that make sense? Well, anyways, I wanted to say this because I recognize that there was a lot of noise being made during, April, May, and June, right? There's a lot of noise, and now it's like slow, and everybody's like, is this bad? And like, no, it's not bad. If anything, I'm now preparing my entire life to do 2 things, which is, again, acquire Phantom and then finish Learn Pyre. And like, everything needs to be in all your ducks need to be in a row, because whatever your small problems are in your life, they will scale with everything else. So any problem I have right now that's a $1,000 problem, I don't want to scale that to $1 million problem. Does that make sense? Yeah, exactly. But you get what I'm saying? Like, all your problems are going to end up scaling, because that's actually what we saw with, Genesis. Like, all of these, what confuses, you know what I mean? Like, I'm exhausted. I went like very, very energetically today in my messaging. But anyways, granted, things will start picking up again. I'll probably get on camera again, and when we have the actual local machine, I'm going to be able to start producing more visual stuff for the actual fantasy fiction and stuff like that. And I think that will make people very, very bullish, because it will be very high effort stuff, because I'm just not going to risk being low effort about this anymore. Arguably, even the video I sent to Sonic Labs, it could have had more storytelling, and like, it ended up kind of, there was a lot of things that were not perfect about it, but it fucking worked. You know what I mean? Because I think that it had the opportunity to, yeah, exactly. But I also had the opportunity to be more technical, because I was addressing like an institution. It wasn't like some random person doom scrolling. You know what I mean? It's like, I am talking to the executive leadership of this, 8-figure funded organization. You get what I'm saying? So anyways, that is what that is. We're going to make it. Like, the proof of concept I have now is that like I have all the skill sets. Therefore, like, all that's left to do is to fight against all these other little obstacles until they're dead, and then complete the fucking project. I can't wait But I think that now I look at all of this like this is just character development. Like I have to be the guy when this is done. Do you know what I mean? I can't have like unaddressed weaknesses. Does that make sense? I don't want to sound like a Darwinist lunatic, but there, you know, any flaw that I have will get magnified with the success. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, and exactly. And in the future, it'll be easier for me to not. Okay, for instance, me doing like weekly streams, I don't think it's necessarily always a value add, but I recognize that people need a pattern to invest in. They need a pattern, right? So if they're not going to find that pattern on the price chart, they need like a different pattern to look at to show that this is still alive, this is still happening. Do you know what I mean? And this is also arguably a problem with analysis, which is kind of what Learn Pyre is, you know, meant to solve. So, I think that it means something when you see like this common theme with all the problems. I think that's kind of like a bullish signal. Anyways, I was gonna try to rant for like an hour on this one, but I just don't think I have it in me. Because I did it already earlier, and I guess, yeah, we're fine. Everything's good. Let's see who else is here. Yeah, okay, Seabiscuit, I guess I've also been here for years and years. Yeah. Like, yeah, I know that you guys are probably fine. Like, we're going to make it. We now have proof that I can do it, you know? Like, and like, fuck, man. Yeah. Yeah, you know, since I know you're a gigantic bag holder, all the delays have the upside that people can, in fact, tune their position over time. Like, you know what I mean? Don't fucking wait for the end where I'm showing off, you know, clips from TIFF already. You know what I mean? People still will. People still always will procrastinate, but, you know, you can also spare yourself the stress. That's kind of the upside of this. Okay. Well, yeah. Then thank you guys for coming to the stream. I hope you have a great eclipse. And I don't really know what else to talk about. Other than, like, everything's good. Like, everything is good, and I just have to keep pushing forward every day. And, like, we're going to make it. There is not an infinite amount of problems left, and most of all, they're all now known. Yeah. I mean, there you go, Fixer. Yeah, exactly. And